All right, so are you ready to dive into some real-world AI?
Always ready to get into the AI.
Okay, well then let's get right to it. Today we're going to be looking at how AI is actually being used by companies like Microsoft, Google, and OpenAI.
Yeah, and it's amazing to see how much this technology is impacting our lives already.
Exactly.
Uh,
It's not just some futuristic fantasy anymore. It's happening right now.
hmm.
And Microsoft is a great example.
Oh yeah, they're really going all in on AI, especially with their Office suite.
I mean, just imagine AI that can draft entire documents for you.
Seriously, it's like having a personal assistant who can write in your own style.
Plus, think about real-time translation during meetings.
Oh yeah, that would break down so many barriers for global teams.
And AI-powered accessibility features could make tech so much more inclusive.
Absolutely, AI has the potential to level the playing field in so many ways.
But what about the creative side of things?
Yeah.
What happens to writers when AI can generate text so easily?
That's a really interesting question. It makes you wonder if writers will become more like editors refining what the AI produces.
Yeah, it's almost like a collaboration between human and artificial intelligence.
Right, and that brings up another huge area where AI is making a big impact: video games.
Oh, yeah. Now you can literally describe your dream video game character, and AI will bring it to life.
Complete with a backstory, personality, the whole nine yards.
It's crazy how immersive and personalized gaming is becoming.
But of course, with all this power comes responsibility.
Exactly. We have to be careful about things like bias and AI.
What if AI designs characters that perpetuate harmful stereotypes?
That's a really important ethical consideration as AI becomes more integrated into our lives.
Absolutely, developers need to be super mindful of those potential pitfalls.
Well, let's move on to another tech giant that's doing some amazing things with AI, Google,
Yeah, they're really using AI to tackle some major global challenges.
like climate change, for example.
Yeah.
They're using AI to optimize energy use in their massive data centers.
Which makes a huge difference when you think about their carbon footprint.
It's like having an incredibly efficient brain managing all their energy systems.
And they're also using AI to protect wildlife.
I read about how they're using AI to analyze satellite images to track deforestation and even illegal fishing.
It's like having a watchful eye in the sky protecting our planet.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But I do wonder about the accuracy of some of these AI predictions, especially when it comes to something as complex as climate change.
Yeah, you're right. Climate models are incredibly complex, even with AI.
So it's more about providing insights and probabilities than making definitive predictions.
Exactly. It's a tool to help us make better decisions, but it's not a crystal ball.
Now let's talk about OpenAI, a company that's really pushing the boundaries of AI while also focusing on ethics.
Their mission to democratize AI is fascinating.
What exactly does that mean?
Basically, they're making AI tools accessible to anyone, even if you don't know how to code.
So someone could create their own AI-powered chatbot for their small business.
Exactly. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities.
But doesn't that also come with risks? If these powerful tools are available to everyone, what's to stop them from being used for malicious purposes?
That's a valid concern, and OpenAI is addressing it head on. They're developing tools to detect and mitigate things like AI-generated misinformation.
Like deepfakes, for example.
Exactly. They're really trying to balance the potential benefits of AI with the potential risks.
It sounds like they're taking a very proactive approach to AI ethics.
And they're involving the public in shaping AI policies, which is pretty unique.
That's great. They're fostering a sense of shared responsibility for this technology.
It's a recognition that the impact of AI will be felt by everyone, so everyone should have a voice.
It's a powerful message. We need to be having these conversations about AI, not just within the tech industry, but throughout society as a whole.
Definitely. The future of AI isn't something that's happening to us, it's something we're actively creating.
And the choices we make today will have huge consequences down the road.
So it's more important than ever to stay informed and engaged.
This is a lot to think about, but before we get too deep into the philosophical implications, let's look at some specific examples of how AI is being used in different sectors.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Well, we've already talked about Microsoft, Google, and OpenAI, but there are tons of other companies and organizations doing amazing things with AI. Let's dive into a few more case studies and see what other fascinating developments are happening out there.
I'm ready when you are. So let's jump into a different field. How about healthcare?
Okay, yeah, AI is already making a big impact in healthcare.
It is, especially in things like diagnosis and treatment.
Yeah, I was reading about AI that can analyze mammograms and detect cancer way earlier than traditional methods.
Oh yeah, there are some incredible algorithms out there that can pick up on those subtle patterns that humans might miss.
So it's almost like having a second set of eyes but
Uh,
even more precise.
Exactly. And that leads to earlier detection, which can make a huge difference in treatment and outcomes.
It's really amazing.
Okay.
But does this mean that doctors are going to be replaced by AI?
Not at all. It's not about replacing doctors. It's about giving them a powerful new tool.
So it's more of a collaboration.
Exactly. AI can help with things like diagnosis and personalized treatments, but ultimately it's still the doctor who's making the decisions.
It's really about combining the strengths of both humans and AI.
Right. And it goes beyond diagnosis, too. AI is being used to develop new drugs, predict patient outcomes, all sorts of things.
It really feels like we're on the cusp of a revolution in healthcare.
It does. So how about we shift gears again and talk about AI and governance?
Okay, interesting. So how is AI being used in that area?
Well, one example is predictive policing, using algorithms to analyze crime data and identify high-risk areas.
That sounds a little bit controversial. Doesn't that raise concerns about bias?
It definitely does. If the data used to train the AI is biased, then the AI will be biased too.
So it's really important to make sure the data is diverse and representative.
Absolutely, and that the algorithms are constantly being monitored and adjusted to make sure they're fair.
It sounds like a tricky balance between using AI to improve public safety and making sure it doesn't reinforce existing inequalities.
You hit the nail on the head there. It's a complex issue, and transparency is key.
People need to know how these systems work and have a say in how they're used.
Right, AI is a powerful tool, but we need to use it responsibly.
Absolutely. Speaking of AI's impact, what about the creative world? How is it changing things there?
Oh, it's making waves in art music, even writing.
Have you seen some of that AI-generated artwork? It's getting so good.
It really is. Some of it is practically indistinguishable from human-created art.
Yeah, I saw an article about an AI-generated painting that sold at auction for a ton of money.
Wow, yeah, that raises some interesting questions about creativity and authorship.
Like if an AI creates a piece of art, who owns it? Who gets the credit?
Right. It's a whole new legal and philosophical frontier.
It seems like every time we start to understand one aspect of AI, a whole new set of questions pops up.
Yeah, it's constantly evolving, which is what makes it so fascinating and a little bit overwhelming.
Well, let's shift gears one last time and talk about some of the positive impacts of AI. What are you most excited about?
For me, it's the potential for AI to help us solve some of the world's biggest problems.
Like climate change, poverty, those kinds of things.
Exactly. If we use it wisely, AI could be a game changer.
It's not a magic solution, of course,
Yeah.
but it has the potential to really accelerate progress in those areas where we need it most.
Right. It's about using AI to make a positive impact on the world.
Okay, well, I think that's a good point to wrap up our discussion for today. It's been a fascinating journey exploring the real-world impacts of AI.
It has, and this is really just the beginning. I think we're going to see even more incredible developments in the coming years.
So to our listeners out there, remember that AI is a tool, a powerful tool, but ultimately a tool that we control.
We decide how we use it, what values we embed in it, and what kind of future we create with it.
It's a responsibility we need to take seriously, but it's also an incredible opportunity to shape the world for the better.
So stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged, because the future of AI is in our hands.
You know, it's really fascinating to see how AI is touching so many different aspects of our lives.
It really is. It's not just about robots and self-driving cars anymore. It's about healthcare and creativity and even how we govern ourselves.
And I think the thing that stands out to me the most is this idea of AI as a collaborator.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not about replacing humans. It's about augmenting our abilities.
Like in healthcare, AI can analyze huge amounts of data and help doctors make more informed decisions.
Right. It's like having a superpowered assistant who can crunch numbers and spot patterns that we might miss.
But at the end of the day, it's still the doctor who's making the diagnosis and treatment plan.
Exactly. AI is a tool, and it's up to us to use it wisely.
And that brings us to the ethical side of things, which is something we can't ignore.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to be mindful of the potential consequences of AI, especially when it comes to things like bias and privacy.
Right, like what happens if an AI algorithm used for loan applications is biased against certain groups of people?
That's a huge concern, and it's why transparency and accountability are so important.
We need to make sure that these AI systems are fair and that they're being used in a way that benefits everyone.
And that's why conversations like this are so crucial. We need to be talking about these issues and making sure that AI is developed and deployed responsibly.
It's not just the responsibility of tech companies, it's something we all need to be thinking about.
Exactly, because the future of AI is going to be shaped by all of us.
So to our listeners out there, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged.
The future of AI is in our hands. Let's make it a future that we can all be proud of.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI. It's a complex and rapidly evolving field, but it's one that's full of possibilities.
Absolutely. And it's a field that's going to have a profound impact on all of our lives. So let's keep learning, keep exploring, and keep the conversation going.
Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you next time.